Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tiff and today we've got some before and after shots of the recent detailing to my XK. First up is the rear right quarter panel. There was a large scratch, swirl marks and burnt on wax all over the panel, and post detailing there's very little evidence that any of that was ever there. It was a really good improvement. The rear left quarter panel was probably the most damaged section on the car. There was a large wax mark burnt into the lacquer behind the C-pillar, and the whole panel was covered in swirl marks, we believe caused by poor washing technique by the previous owner. Now, this makes the lacquer look hazy and appear much greyer than it should be. You can see under the sun gun that's being shone on the paint the amount of swirl marks and the amount of holograms coming out from around the light. And again, post-detailing, it looks great. You wouldn't know the state it had been in beforehand. Next up, we move forward to the bonnet, where bird droppings have burnt the lacquer in 3 separate places. Once again, as soon as they've been detailed, there's very little evidence they ever existed, and underneath the light in the studio the paint is looking liquid and brand new again. Now, the worst paint on the car was on the front left, where someone's rubbed bird dirt into the paint when removing it, so badly that the paint has gone grey, and you can even see a line at the edge of where they've damaged the lacquer at its worst. Shining the sun gun over it reveals just how bad it is. You can very clearly see that join between the almost matte finish paint and the more glossy paint that's still swirl marked on the right hand side. Post detailing and the line has disappeared completely. The front bumper all looks one uniform colour, which is of course the intended result. Other than the heavy swirl marking, there was no serious damage to the paint, just a few light scratches, and post detailing I think it looks great for a 10-year-old car, and I'm really pleased with the result. So with the car back from the detailers and looking lovely, the next job is to install these lovely metal paddles. So they are, I believe, billet aluminium, and they're available on Jaguar and Land Rover models. I believe the XK-RS had these as an option, certainly the XK-RS GT got them, and it should be as simple as a Torx 20 screw, just straight out of here, and then one wire clipping straight into there, because the actuator I believe is inside the paddle here, it's not actually on the wheel. Turn the wheel for easier access, but what we're doing is removing these black plastic paddles which feel genuinely very plasticky. I think they're the only thing in the cabin that does feel a little bit less than premium. The only thing that does happen is you lose the illuminated plus and minus that you get at the top of each paddle. Out comes the first one then. It's just a really short Torx T20 screw. Probably easiest if I actually shoot this video through the top of the windscreen, but this should just pop out like so. And then all I have to do is remove this one clip at the side, plug the new paddle in, screw it in, and we're good to go. Well, there's the upshift paddle complete then. It feels exactly the same in its action, it's just quite a light press to change up. It just looks a lot better. It does protrude a little bit more from the top. While we've got one of each paddle on the wheel, it's a good opportunity to just have a look at the difference between them. So actually the new paddles are shorter at the bottom, I didn't realise, and flatter on the bottom, but they are longer on the top, and of course I've got these lovely little laser cut plus and minus logos. They obviously feel a lot better, cold to the touch, nice real metal versus sort of sticky 10-year-old plastic. And there we are, that's both of them done. And now to turn the wheel back round, which requires starting the engine in a confined space. Listen to this. That'll do. Now to check they work just by going into second gear. Yep, and the downshift. Yep, and it should go into auto if I press and hold upshift. Yep, perfect. Well, job complete, and I have to say, what is in essence a 10-minute job when you know what you're doing, I didn't to start with, but I did on the second, is well worth doing. It looks and feels a lot better, and especially for the RS, I think they really suit the car. That was just a quick update to show you what I've done with the XK since I picked it up. Hopefully we can get to a track day very soon and see what the car's capable of. Do subscribe to see that video when it goes live, but for now, thank you very much for watching. Ciao!